Chisholm at Seasons Veterinary Clinic, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about dental disease in dogs and cats, and then I'm going to go over 4 different ways to slow it down, 4 ways to prevent it. So first, a really brief overview on dental disease. When you wake up in the morning and you brush that fuzzy little soft sweater off your teeth, that's plaque. It's soft, it's easy to get rid of, and most of the things I'm going to talk about today will get rid of that plaque. Once that plaque mixes with some of the minerals that are in the saliva, you get tartar, which is basically mineral, almost like a rock. It's hard, it's stuck, and it's much more difficult to get rid of. Once there's any amount of tartar really, but if you get a substantial amount of tartar, doing a professional cleaning under anesthesia is the best way to get rid of that. So, to get rid of plaque, 4 things that I'm going to mention. First, arguably the most effective and probably the most difficult for a lot of patients is brushing teeth. Same as little kids, you can't tell your dog or your cat not to swallow the toothpaste, so there's lots of brands of fluoride-free toothpaste for pets. Comes in good flavors like poultry and malt. And the toothbrush, pet stores or vet clinics, including ourselves, will have pet-specific toothbrushes. I mean, if you go down to the drugstore and get a small, soft or extra soft toothbrush, that will work as well. And you are going to come here for your free dental exam and get a little free toothbrushing pamphlet that does a brief overview of brushing teeth. But what you're going to do is put your toothbrush where the gum and the tooth meet and back and forth once a day and scrub that plaque off before it hardens into tartar. Plaque takes 24 or 48 hours before it starts to harden into tartar. So if you're brushing teeth more than every day or 2, the benefit decreases substantially. And brushing teeth is a long-term plan. You don't get the instant gratification you do pulling off a tick or pulling out a sliver, but 3, 5, 10 years down the road, it makes a huge difference. The second way to slow down to prevent dental disease in a dog or a cat is with a dental food. There's several good options out there. Hill's TD food is currently my favorite. Royal Canin also has a dental food that's a big help. And even if a pet doesn't like having their teeth brushed, everybody needs to eat. So if we have a food that does a good job of slowing down and preventing dental disease, it makes a big difference for these patients. And now we'll give you a demonstration on how the Hill's TD food works. So I've got 3 diets here. I've got a small dog diet with teeny tiny bites, and a different diet with more regular sized kibbles, and then I've got the TD small bites. So how TD works is it's bigger kibbles, so the dog or the cat can't just swallow them all whole, they actually have to chew a few of them. And when they chew them, the kibble doesn't shatter right away. The tooth actually sinks into it and scrapes off that plaque. So it's almost as good as brushing, and everybody has to eat. So even if you can't convince your dog to let them have their teeth brushed, they'll be hungry. So a dental food can make a big difference. So I've got some whiteout on a screwdriver that is going to represent plaque on a tooth. So first, the teeny tiny bites from the small dog food. If we take our plaque covered tooth, just shatters, and we're still covered in plaque. And those niblets are small enough that a dog whose teeth are in really bad shape could quite happily swallow them whole without having to worry about chewing them. And then a bigger food shatters. All our plaque is still on that tooth. So even though he had to chew a few of them, he still got dirty teeth. Then we come to the TD food. And look at all the plaque we scraped off that tooth. So that is how the TD food works. The third way I'm going to describe to slow down dental disease is with a water additive. There's several on the market right now. The one I'm going to bring up by name is Healthy Mouth. It's an all-natural product, and it's added to the water for a dog or a cat. And what it does is it weakens that plaque. So the plaque doesn't stick to the tooth as well. The plaque is slower to build up. There's not as much plaque available to harden into the tartar that becomes such a challenge. In and of itself, it's a help. If combined with something like brushing or the dental food, it makes a really big difference because it'll act in the locations between teeth that either the dog doesn't like having brushed or that they don't chew on. So yes, the Healthy Mouth, dogs and cats, lots of different flavors, is a really good add-on for a dental preventative program. The fourth way I'm going to mention that can slow down and prevent dental disease in dogs and cats is a chew, something they're chewing on. And if they like a treat, if they like a raw hide, and you pick one that can help with their teeth, you're giving them something fun to do and helping those teeth out a little bit at the same time. The two I've got on the shelf right now, one are these Tartar Shield rawhide bacon flavored chews. They're a help. And the second one are these Veggie Dents. So yeah, all vegetable based. If you've got a dog with allergies, something like this can be a good option. Greenies is another popular brand that does a good job. Two things to caution you with dental treats. One is their calorie intake. If you've got a dog who's borderline heavy and they eat a whole bunch of dental treats, that might be enough calories to push them into too heavy. So if you're giving them a bunch of treats, you're going to have to cut back some calories somewhere else, decrease their food a little bit. And the other thing, keep an eye out for this, the Veterinary Oral Health Council stamp. It is a group of veterinary dentists, and companies will submit studies of their products, and if those products work, then they're allowed to use the stamp. So if you see that good stamp on a product, you can be confident it's going to be a help. The Healthy Mouth has it, way down in the corner there. The Hills TD Food has it. And it's on the bag somewhere. There it is on the back. And these Tartar Shield chews, they've got that stamp too. It's sitting on the inside cover. So that is something that should give you some confidence that the product you're looking at is going to be a help. So those are the four things that you can do to prevent dental disease in your dogs and your cats. Brushing their teeth does a whole lot of good. A dental food will be a really big help. The Healthy Mouth water additive is going to be a very good help as well. And then if they get treats, if they like treats, and you pick something that's good for their teeth, that's excellent. The challenge with dental disease is it marches on, and all we can do is slow it down. I brush my teeth, I floss my teeth, and I still get a reminder card from my dentist every 6 months telling me to come in and get them professionally cleaned. Our cats and dogs, if you go 10 years down the road, we had one dog that had a whole bunch of home care done, teeth brushed, would be the big one, but add in a dental food and a water additive, all the home care options possible. And his twin brother dog, who didn't have any dental care done, depending on other factors like the size of their head and the way their teeth are lined up, and apparently genetics and saliva, but the difference is huge. In 10 years, it's the difference between having no extractions and just getting those teeth cleaned up and polished up. And I had a dog here the other day where I had to extract 32 teeth because they were just not viable any longer. So it's a long-term commitment, but it's worth it for the health of the animal, the health of their teeth, and selfishly the health of your wallet if you can keep those teeth clean and shiny for the long run.